What's up, guys? So what is the new Honda CRF300L really like? Let's just talk about it. So this CRF300L to me is just a wonderful bike. So much has changed since the CRF250L. Not something that you see visually so much, but you feel in riding the bike, the handling, the power, not necessarily suspension, but it's just a wonderful bike. It's a dual sport, and the cool part about dual sports is they're just to pretty much do anything. You can go on long trips, you can go on short trips, you can ride this paved road like this, you can commute through towns, and there's so many other things you can do with this that you can't do on a dirt bike, and you also can't do on a street bike. I can't take a dirt bike and ride on the paved roads, well, not around here anyway. You actually can, but there's an awful big chance you're going to get in trouble. So that's another thing that makes the CRF300L so cool, so fun, and such a great investment when you're buying a motorcycle. Something that you can do one bike to do dual purpose, dual sport. So the 300L is so cool about here we are on the pavement, and we can take it and just go right off-road into the National Forest Service roads. How cool is that? You're not going to do that on a Harley. Well, you can, but it wouldn't be much fun, I wouldn't think. So that's like the number one thing that is so cool about a dual sport, or basically I'm talking about the Honda CRF300L in this one, but is to be able to ride where you go. So back in the day, I used to have to hook the trailer up to the truck or put the bike in the back of the truck. And sometimes I'd put the trailer on, haul the bike, and then we get out, unload it, do all that, go for a ride, bring it back, load it back up, haul it back home, unload all your stuff. The dual sport is so cool. I ride this thing to work today. I just got off work. I rode through some back roads and a little bit of a paved, more of a state road, highway, maintained highway. I rode it, come out here, and I'm off-road just that quick without having to fool with all that. Anytime I want to go ride, I just jump on the bike. I can head down the dirt roads. I can hit the paved roads to go from one dirt road to another. I've never been out this little trail here, so I'm going to see what it is. Probably dead ends. But how cool is that? That's the coolest part about a Honda CRF300L, is being able to do this. And this bike performs so well. That's why I wanted to say what the bike is really like. It's really just a wonderful bike. Right here you can set up and do some moto camping. This is a good little turnaround spot here and a good place to moto camp. So how cool would that be? Take the 300L. I need to do that. It's actually fixing to cool down a little, and it'll be a good time to actually do that. So we can do some moto camping. Real easy. Load the stuff up, go out, take the highways down to wherever you're going, find you a spot. If you don't find a spot, you can go back out and find another one and go. And the 300L is a perfect bike for this. It performs well off-road, it performs well on-road. It's just a good all-around dual sport, and for the price, that's what makes it a sweet thing, is the price of this bike is not going to break the bank. It handles good. I take the moto pump and I air my tires up to 22. I let them down when I'm off-road like this. Then when I get back to the pavement, I air them back up. It's super simple. Now, in stock form, the CRF300L, it can use a few things. No doubt about it. I'll talk about them here when I pull over and I'll show you the bike and some of the things that I think that you should consider when you take a stock bike and you first buy it. But as far as just getting on the bike, you can go to the store, to the Honda shop. You can purchase one of these bikes. You can jump on it and just take off-road on the highway and go without doing a thing to it. Will it be better if you do a few updates? Absolutely. And some updates would be real easy to do and really not that expensive for the gain you get by doing those updates. So if we pull over here, I'll show you a few things. So one of the first things I would do when you buy a CRF300L, like I said, it's a wonderful bike, except for it does not come with a skid plate. If you're going to do a lot of this off-road stuff where there's a lot of rocks and sticks and logs, you definitely want a skid plate. Other than that, you can jump on this thing and go. I would say top things you'd want to get first would be a skid plate, probably some hand guards, and some different tires. The tires that are on it, okay, they are knobbies, and they will do all this stuff. And they do a decent job. But you get some Tusk D-Sport tires like this with these big tread, and you're going to do a lot better. You're going to be a lot happier. You're going to be a lot safer. These knobs are way deeper than the factory tires. A lot bigger knobs. Same way on the front, and they're spaced further apart. So with them being spaced further apart, you're going to get more traction off-road. Hand guards are going to protect you from trees and branches and brush. Or if you lay it over, it's going to protect your controls and your levers and everything. So it's a good thing to have. The luggage is something you don't have to have, but it does come in handy. And I actually have all the Nelson rig gear, the DUALSPORT saddlebags. I have the tank bag from Nelson rig, and the rear bag here, the tail bag from Nelson rig. So I got the bike pretty good set up with all the Nelson rig stuff. Really cool. We're going to take this thing and do a little more riding. Go down this road a little further. One thing about riding this time of year, spiders. The webs are everywhere. I'm going to close my shield down here, even though I don't want to, but I don't want all the spiders in my face. If you go through here, you don't have somebody go in front of you like Blake, then you have to put up all the webs getting all over you. One thing nice about the winter is you don't have to. And a dual sport bike like this, you can ride year round. You can even ride in the snow. You want to be careful and have good tires and snow that's not too deep. But this bike performs so good. It's got so much power, plenty of power. It's not overly powered for this kind of stuff. It's not underpowered. It's just pretty much the perfect dual sport. And it is an upgrade from the 250L. The 250L was a sweet bike. This bike is just improved in a lot of areas that the 250L needed improved. And that's exactly what they did on this bike when they came out with it. So you won't go wrong buying one of these bikes if you're wanting something just to have fun on, because this thing is loads of fun. Pond right there. Not much of a pond, but there's some water in it. I'm surprised as hot and dry as it has been. So you could take this thing, now we're in the pine trees out here in the National Forest. You can see all these pines out here. A lot of pines over here. There's mixed oaks in with the pines. And there's a world of opportunities with this bike. You can make it your own. You can make it into more of an adventure bike. You can make it more into a street oriented bike. People make it more leaning toward a real woods dirt bike. Or you could just leave it in stock like I do. I've added a few things to help as far as protection. I'm not going to mess with the exhaust. I think it's just perfect the way it is. So why mess with a good thing? I have no idea. Let's go see where this one goes. So I'm just going to leave this bike like it is. It doesn't need anything else. It does such a good job at everything in stock trim. Now, I can tell you one thing about the bike. The seat is just not very good. When you first get it, start riding it, you might think the seat's okay, but you get to riding a lot, you'll realize that the seat is not okay. It's not very good at all. So, there's always something you can spend money on a bike, or you can take it the way it is and be happy, and it'll serve you just fine. Everywhere I go is a dead end. The cool part about this is actually, like here in Missouri on most of this stuff, is a dirt bike is not actually allowed out here. But the cool part about the DUALSPORT, the CRF300L, is because you're a licensed motorcycle, you can go out here wherever, anywhere that the vehicles can go. So that is another cool thing about a DUALSPORT and the CRF300L. But as far as what this bike is really like, it does good. I've had this thing in muddy conditions, I've had it in rocky conditions, I've had it wet rain rides, and so far this thing has performed flawlessly. You can see I've got 2,587 miles on this thing right now, so it's not like I've got tons of miles, but you can expect, because it's a Honda, I don't think that's ever going to be an issue. They just are notorious for being a bulletproof bike. I think I'm going to go over this way because I have no idea where that one goes. May get myself in worse trouble, you never know. Picked the wrong trail. What in the world? This may not go nowhere. It don't. It goes exactly back right into the same one. So I really didn't gain nothing. Probably got myself into worse mess going off this little... Oh, that's not bad. But grab you a crotch rocket or a street bike, come out here and do this. And I can actually still do what they do. I had a buddy one time that had a CBR, and he said, I could beat you anywhere, anytime with that CBR on that 250L. I have the 250L in. I said, oh no, you can't. I could take you on 2 races and beat you on both of them. I can beat you on highway and I can beat you on dirt with this 250L. He said, how's that? Well, I said, well, the first thing is we're going to go through this right here, which I'm talking about the Rock Creek area, but we're going to go through some stuff like this first. We'll race through there, and then when we get back to the highway, we'll race home on the highway. And he said, well, after I got through the rocks, then I wouldn't be able to go because it'd tear my bike up. Exactly. That's why I would beat you on both races. Well, this is some loose rock. Goodness gracious. And there's a heck of a rut right there. Of course, I know on camera it probably don't show it, but I definitely don't want to go off on that. It's kind of thin trail right here. But what I'm saying is you can do this, and boy, these Tusk D-Sport tires are so much better on this stuff. So cool. It has washed out down through here. We ain't had no rain in a while, so it must have been whatever that last rain was that it did this. But this bike actually handles good, and the weight, you don't feel the weight so much on the 300L like you would another DUALSPORT, like a DRZ 400, because the weight feels high on those. I've rode a couple of them. And then like the 250L, this bike feels lighter weight than the 250L. It is lighter weight, but you actually feel the difference. Making a difference with a little suspension upgrade, the reducing the weight and gaining a little power makes it feel so much more flickable, light, and better handling. It's just a good package. Uh-oh, idiot alert. People throwing out trash. Dodging the spiders, if you wonder what I'm doing here. Whoa, watch them rose bushes, they'll rip you up. Okay, I think we have made it. Howdy, yeah. What kind of a Duma Flitchy is that? All right, we are on the gravel road, which leads us to another thing. This thing on back roading is so amazing. It's so much fun on the back roads. It's perfect. Even the stock suspension for hardcore off-road. Some people think they need more suspension, but on this back road stuff, this stock suspension is really nice because it soaks up the potholes good. It's soft. comfortable, and you just add some tires to where you have better traction on this gravel, and this bike is wonderful on this kind of stuff. We rode 200 miles, me and the wife, 2-up. They'd done a great job 2-up. A couple hundred miles the other day, and most of it was gravel roads like this, and man, we had a good time, a good day. This bike done wonderful. We got low on gas at one time because you only hold 2 gallons of gas, so you gotta just remember your miles, but we made it to a station and done fine. I did have a Rotopax, but it was at the house and I did not have it on the bike. I wished I would have. Just that extra gallon on there on the back. I can put it under my Nelson rig tail bag that you can see back there. It bolts on there, and then I can put my tail bag on top of it, and then I got an extra gallon of gas. So that would have been handy that day because we was running down low enough that my reserve light down here was blinking. So well, that is a washed out mess there. The water's been getting with it. So that is so cool, guys. Thank you for watching Woodzman Adventures. Click the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Lots more videos coming. I'm going to try to get out of this holler before I start hearing banjos playing. Right on.